My name is Trena Yonkers-Talz, and I come to you from San Salvador, El Salvador. Before moving forward with this reflection, I just would like to share with you all that this is a time of paradox for the people of El Salvador. On one hand, we'll be celebrating the canonization of Monsignor Romero in a few days. On the other hand, we're coming off from a week of a very intense tropical storm where a lot of people have lost their entire livelihood. They lost their homes, their crops, their everything that really was home to them. And so I just want to kind of hold the people of El Salvador gently and lovingly as I share this reflection. As I said, I've been here for the past 20 years, and I had the immense privilege and opportunity to learn from the people of El Salvador, specifically as it relates to the Bible and the gospel readings. The gospel has come to life for me in this context, accompanying children in the communities, accompanying older people who are struggling with illnesses, accompanying communities who are struggling to get by and organize themselves to move forward. So it is from this context that I share my reflection today. When I read the readings for today, I immediately thought of a friend of mine. Her name is Rosario, and it is from that context that I would like to share with you my reflection. So Rosario is an elderly woman from the community of Tepecoyo. It is about a 45-minute drive from the city of San Salvador. She, at the age of 8, stopped going to school because she needed to work to help raise her younger siblings. And so what she would do was kind of forage through the local land and the forest looking for whatever she could sell on the market. So she would climb trees to pick avocados, she would pick bananas, and she would sell whatever she could to make a living for her family. She did this for many, many years. Eventually, she fell in love. She had a child. They had their home. It was a very simple life, but also a very full life, and she was very content. And when Rosario was in about her late 50s, early 60s, she started having struggles with diabetes. And as with most people who struggle in communities like Tepecoyo, didn't have the adequate medical attention that she needed. So eventually, she started having trouble with her circulation. She started having trouble with her eyesight. And over the course of a number of years, she lost her mobility. And with that, lost her ability to have some kind of income to help support her family. And then a few years after that, she struggled with her eyesight and then became legally blind after a few years. Just to give kind of a physical context of where it is that the Rosario lives in Tepecoyo, is a very small parcel of land with a home that's made up, really it's a tapestry of broken pieces of wood and recycled sheet metal. It's a one-room home with one door entering into the home. Whenever we would go to visit, and that we went and visited about once a month to visit her and just accompany her and talk with her, she would immediately, the moment we walked in, just in from our voices, when we would say hello, she knew who we were, and she would insist that we come in. She would pull out the few chairs that she had, all of them rickety and broken in some way, cracked plastic or a wooden bench that was wobbly and loose, but she would pull them out and invite everybody to come and sit down with her and to accompany her. And she would always share her life story with people who visited her. And what impacted me the most was she would talk about her life story. She would talk about all of the losses that she had because of her physical illness. But she would always end it in saying, but with all of this, I give thanks to God. Because although I can't see very well, when I look up, I can still see where the tree line meets the sky. Or she would say, I can't work and I can't buy fruits and vegetables for my family, but I still have corn that I can grind to make tortillas. And for me, she just brings to life the responsorial psalm from the reading for today, where it says, fill us with your love, O Lord, and we will sing for joy. Rosario, she lived that psalm. Repeatedly, we would visit her and she would share her story. Repeatedly, she would end with immense gratitude for God and the gift that she had. Fill us with your love, O Lord, and we will sing for joy. One of the last times that I was able to visit her, I brought with me, invited 4 of our students that were here for the semester studying with the Casa de la Solidaridad program through the UCA. And I invited those students to join me. And I was really excited for them to be able to meet her and just witness this person of profound faith and profound love and profound generosity. And so she did what she always does. She pulled her chairs out. She invited everybody to sit down. She shared her story, and she would always stop periodically through her story and gently touch the person to her left or the person to her right, and just very genuinely and authentically thank them for taking the time to visit with her and to be with her. So the students were looking around, and where we were sitting was kind of the kitchen area. Yet it was very clear that there was no food in the kitchen. There were no pots and pans to cook. There were no dishes to serve the food. What they did notice was a bright, colorful, we call it a cesta, but kind of like a weaved basket that we used for daily chores and for storing food. And towards the end of the visit, she walked over and she pulled the cesta down off the wall, and she pulled out from it 6 very ripe bananas and 6 pretty green mangoes. And it was clear that she was going to be sharing this with her guests. And the students, as she was slowly making her way back, they looked at me and they said, we can't accept this gift. And we just talked about it. And I said, but by us accepting this gift, we're accepting her, and we're accepting her story, and we're accepting her love. And so they received that. And with that, they received all that she is. And Rosario, for me, she embodies that first reading of wisdom. Yet all good things together come to me in your company, and countless riches at her hands. And all good things definitely came to me in the company of Rosario. I am, to this day, immensely grateful for the opportunity to have met her, to have learned from her, and to have accompanied her over the years. And she will forever be one of my greatest life teachers and one of my greatest theologians. When we look at the gospel reading from today, I think the point of the passage is that when we accumulate wealth, when we accumulate material things, life gets a little bit murky and priorities get a little bit unclear. And for somebody like Rosario, life was very clear. It was about love. It was about sharing the little bit that we had. And it was about giving thanks to God for all that we've been given in life. So I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share Rosario with you today. And I want to close. I found a picture of her, and this was actually on that very last visit that we did. This is Rosario in the middle with all of the Casa students. And then this is me. And then this is our, I'm kind of going backwards. This is our community site coordinator. This is Angelica, who works in Tepecoyo and accompanied Rosario. And here's Rosario, who, when this picture was taken, she passed away maybe 4 or 5 months after that. So this is Rosario, and she is my teacher. She is my theologian.